Uniting our community on 105 FM. Calon FM.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the man of the hour with his iconic style and beardy blues. He's a real looker. Please welcome the legend that is...
It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show.
Andy has come to the diary room.
Hello, darling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start the party.
Well, hear ye, people of Wrexham Town and the surrounding areas. How on earth are you doing? How are you feeling? It's the 22nd of December, just a few more days now, 3 more days till Christmas. Are you ready? Are you set? Have you done all your shopping, or are you fretting like me? You're a bit of a fretter. I am. I think I'll be ready around about Boxing Day. That's my general gist. Anyway, between now and 2:30, girls and boys, you've got me, Andy Snowden, with music from stage and screen and anything you might have seen on your television box. And if you've got anything you want to say about it, you're more than welcome to. You can get in contact with me, of course you can. And this is how you do it, right? Get yourself onto Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook now. If you're not on it yet, ask the kids, they'll sort you out. Pop over to my Facebook page. It's a special page just for you chaps. It's called Andy Snowden at Calon FM Stage and Screen. That's on Facebook. I'll say it again. Andy Snowden at Calon FM Stage and Screen on the old Facebook. Or indeed you can contact me on Twitter. Ooh, get her. Twitter as well, that's just at Calon FM. That's a little bit easier, isn't it? That's a little bit easier. Plenty for everybody to get involved with this afternoon, so don't go anywhere, right? Right, this is what you wanted, this is what you're gonna get. It's a new one on me, that. I only heard it a few months ago. I actually heard it in a film. I can't remember which film I saw it in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's Run DMC, and it's called Christmas in Hollis. Lovely.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
I'm wondering if the introduction of my show is getting a little bit too long now. It seems to be like 10 minutes long. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Stage and Screen Show with me, Andy Snowden. As I say, here until 2:30 this afternoon before we get full commentary of Wrexham against Aldershot Town. And Mark Griffiths will be bringing us that commentary live from the EBB Stadium. That is in Aldershot, of course. And that kicks off at 3 p.m. as per usual. And we'll bring you that match straight after my show, right? But until then, it's all music music from stage and screen, and a little bit of a Christmassy flavour this afternoon. Why not?
Your bounce house, the jiggle.
Now, a few guests I have today. A few guests. We have the cast and the creatives of this brand new production that is taking place up at Theatre Clwyd at this present time. It opened last week. It is called Hansel and Gretel, the Fairy Tale Detectives. I'll tell you now, it is awesome. It's sort of advertised for under 11s, but I took my 21-year-old son and he loved it. I loved it too. Of course, a word with the writer and the director, Joe Bunce, and one of the actresses of the piece, Hester Evans, and she stepped in right at the very last minute. I'll explain about that a little bit later. But it's superb. It's an absolutely brilliant production, and there's a lot of Christmas shows going around at this present time, obviously. But that is a corker. That's a corker. If you've got little kids, take them to it. It's a belter. And also as well, over in Sheffield Lyceum, they have got Peter Pan, and the starring man in that is Sean Williamson. You'll know Sean Williamson, plays Barry in EastEnders and Barry in The Extras. Well, he joins us a little bit later on as well. Can't wait for that.
Two-armed upward thrust.
And also, as well, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't been too shy about it, I'll be honest with you. But a few months ago, I joined Weight Watchers, and I've lost 2 stone. That was the aim before I thought, before I get to Christmas, I'll try and lose 2 stone, right? Anyway, yesterday I had my last weigh-in of the year, and I've hit the 2 stone mark, so I'm chuffedy to bitsy. So what I've done is I've invited my coach to join us this afternoon on the show, and just happens to be my wife as well, Janet, right?
Minneapolis.
And so she's popped in, and so we're going to talk all things Weight Watchers, who have now changed their name to WW. Makes it a bit easier, I think. Is it easier to say WW or Weight Watchers? I don't know. It's a bit like World Wide Web, isn't it? Ironically, World Wide Web is easier to say than www. Anyway, now, I'll shut up now. So any questions you've got for Janet, she is in the studio all afternoon with me, and any questions you might have about how to sort of maintain or not go too over the top, overindulging with your food and your booze over Christmas. Any questions for her, go on to my Facebook page, as I say, Andy Snowden at Calon FM, stage and screen on the old Facebook. That's Andy Snowden at Calon FM, stage and screen on the old Facebook, or just at Calon FM on Twitter. That's how you do it, that's how it's done.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? That's the Wombling Merry Christmas. Not Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Come on, Andy, get it together. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, before we heard from Orinoco and the gang, around about September time of this year, just after we came back from our holidays, I looked on our Christmas, get a grip, our holiday photographs, and I noticed I put on too much weight. I was feeling very unfit, and I could hardly catch my breath, and all of those things that sort of like bombard your brain. And I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to join Weight Watchers. That's what I'm going to do. And I didn't know really what to expect, to be honest with you, because I'd heard lots of sort of conflicting things from people, whether people who it worked for and others that it hadn't worked for. So as my wife is a Weight Watchers coach, she asked me if I wanted to join, so I did. And I set myself a little bit of a sort of a mini goal. And the first mini goal was see if I can do something, but lose some weight. But yes, when I realised that it was doable, I set myself the goal of 2 stone before Christmas, and I have reached that goal. I reached it yesterday, and so what we've done is I had Janet's come on the show this afternoon, and so anyway, welcome to the show, Jeanette.
Hello.
There she is. Look, oh, isn't this lovely? It's like being at home, isn't it?
Nice, isn't it?
So, this is Janice, everybody. She is my wife and my Weight Watchers coach.
The WW Wellness Coach.
That's, beg your pardon, yes, it's called WW now. So
WW.
so let's get this out of the way to start off with. What does WW stand for now?
Doesn't actually stand for anything. It's WW with a tagline, Wellness That Works. So yeah, we've kept the roundel, so the stacked W's, which is a nod to our history and heritage.
Yeah. It's exactly the same logo, isn't it? Really, yeah.
It's the logo.
Right. All right, cool. So you're not Weight Watchers. I presume you're not going to get too touchy if people call it Weight Watchers. I mean, that's what you're famous for, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And we're not moving away from that either. We're not. We're absolutely the best weight loss brand out there, and we're experts in weight loss. We're just opening the doors up to more people. So it's more about wellness. It's far more holistic now. It's about creating healthy habits for real people, for real life.
Okay, cool. And here we are. We're like what, three days from Christmas. Are you a bit of a fretter about Christmas, or do you just get into it and love it?
I love it. I can feel myself. I finished work yesterday. I can feel myself starting to relax and just like. And you know what? We've got to go shopping, haven't we, after this?
We have.
And I've just heard on your news thing there that it's going to be the busiest day of the year.
That's true.
We picked the wrong day, haven't we?
Well, the thing of it is, in Wrexham, I mean, there are at least 5 big supermarkets, so it's just basically which one you choose, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? It is what it is, isn't it? We've got to do it. And I was talking to our son the other day, and he said, the only thing you don't really like about shopping is people.
Yeah. Do you remember that year we went at like 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it was really good then. It was empty.
Yeah. But they didn't have anything fresh like bread or
No.
anything like that, so that was a bit of a nightmare. I've also found, girls and boys, just for your, I've done it so you don't have to type of thing. There's always a price war, isn't there, but for the veg, and Asda, I think I found is the cheapest for that. That's 20p for carrots and parsnips.
Oh yeah.
And they're horrible, but I bought them anyway because your mum likes them.
She does.
And sprouts and broccoli, right? They're all 20p, but potatoes are on the normal price. And I think Tesco's are actually best for the potatoes.
How much were they?
I think they were about 28p. 20. Yeah, I think 20. Thing is,
I don't think you bought enough.
I only bought 5 bags.
Yeah.
What we're
going
to do?
See us through, is it?
No, we're not. We've got to get through till Wednesday.
I know. I mean, the shops are going to shut for 24 hours. I mean, I think we need to go buy more potatoes and more bread.
Oh, no, it's crackers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mental.
Oh, crackers.
Yes. Crackers. Yeah, we
cheese.
We got to get crackers. I bought cheese as well.
I'm getting more cheese.
Right. Okay. So that's. I mean, that brings us quite nicely onto the food aspect of Christmas, because I mean everybody overindulges at Christmas, don't they? And I suppose in your business you've got to sort of give people permission to
Absolutely.
to just have a blowout.
Do you know what? People can do what they want to do, can't we? It's up to you what you want to do. It's like we were talking in the car. It's just having an idea. I say, what are you prepared to accept come January? Are you happy to put weight on?
Yeah.
I know I am.
Yeah.
So how much? Plan for that. Do you want to stay the same? Some people do. Some people might not want to do a load of damage just because it's Christmas. If you want to stay the same, how are you going to do it? Put a plan for that. Or do you want to lose? Do you want to continue to lose weight, which some people do?
Yeah.
In which case, can you lose weight over Christmas and still have a fantastic time? And
Yeah.
yeah, of course you can.
But I suppose as well, if you're an athlete, for argument's sake, if
Yeah.
you're a footballer and you've got a match on Boxing Day, you're not going to be pigging out like the rest of us anyway. So if you want to take it like as seriously, I mean, you take it very seriously, obviously, and I've kind of taken, I've took it very seriously. But there have been days when I've just gone, yeah, I don't care. I honestly don't care. Yeah. So I think it'd be very easy for me not to care over Christmas.
Well, yeah, but it's a balance. It's a funny old thing, you see, because I was having a look back at my app,
Right.
and so I've lost 6 stone following this plan.
Since when?
So, well, I've maintained it. This is what I was looking at. I've maintained it for a year. So it took me 18 months to do 6 stone.
Right.
And I've never maintained my weight before. I've always, come Christmas, I'd put on a stone in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Go on holiday, put on a stone, and it was all big. And actually, I've just looked at this and I'm maintaining it without even thinking about it. And it's because we're eating differently.
Yeah.
So you can have your blowout. You can have we can have people blowouts. What is a blowout? I don't eat a big box of crisps anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Tell you what, hold that thought, because that's a good thing to come back to. We're talking all afternoon with Janet here, Janet Snowden. She is my good lady wife, and she is a wellness coach. That's what I'm going to call you. So it's got a nice ring to it. A wellness coach. If you've got any questions for her about anything, about all the sort of tips to not put on too much weight over Christmas and to keep yourself fit as a fiddle, you can get in contact with me, Andy Snowden at Calon FM Stage and Scream. That's the Facebook page. Just scroll down, you'll come to a little page. There's a picture of the WW Wellness That Works. It's a blue thing. Get us a question to Janet this afternoon, and we will put it to her live on air. Here we are. This is Janet Snowden live on Calon FM.
Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
Rather the elephant pack the trunk and say goodbye to the circus. Off she went with a jumpity trunk, 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 trunk. Now Nelly the elephant pack the trunk and tumble up in the jungle. Off she went with a jumpity trunk, trunk.
Uniting our community on 105 FM. Calon FM.
So there you go. Do you remember that? Nelly the Elephant by the Toy Dolls. They were a bunch of madheads, they were, weren't they? I was actually saying to Janet, do you have a Christmas song that you actually like that reminds you of Christmas, but it isn't actually a Christmas song? And she said no. Anyway, yeah, that was rather helpful for this show. But that is the one song that sort of like transports me back to Christmas when I was a kid, when I was about 14 or something. There you go, Nelly the Elephant. Not really a Christmassy song, but there you go. Anyway, girls and boys, you're listening to the Stage and Screen Show with me, Andy Snowden, here until 2:30 this afternoon. Before we get ourselves prepared for the big pre-Christmas match between Wrexham AFC and Aldershot Town. Coming to you live from Aldershot this afternoon with Mark Griffiths. That kicks off at 3 p.m. as per usual. Lovely. Anyway, before we heard from the Toy Dolls there, we were listening to Janet tell us all about how she... you were saying, actually, that you lost quite a lot of weight. You went from... How heavy were you before you sort of... Is that a fair enough question to ask? Sorry, you're looking at me like...
I've got to be honest, it's a bit rude, but
is it? Okay.
I don't mind.
I
was 16 stone 4.
Right, okay. So 16 stone 4, and so you went down to 10.
10 stone.
That's amazing.
I know
that is, yeah. Because you'd hurt your back, hadn't you? That was it.
I was in a bit of a mess, and and everybody. I mean, this is the whole thing. Everybody's got their reason. Everyone's got their why, and mine was at that point. I was in so much pain and on so many painkillers and doing. You either think, well, shut up moaning about it, or do something.
Yeah.
And I needed to take control back of it,
yeah.
And give myself a fighting chance. And funnily enough, I don't take any medication anymore.
No. That's I think that's a bigger deal.
It is massive.
For me that actually worked, because when I hurt my back, the doctors told me to lose weight. Although I was only like,
you were tiny, you were skinny then.
Yeah, I was only like 9 stone or something. I said it's not a weight problem, is it, with me? I've done something to my back. But you actually had the doctors turn around to you and say, if this last operation that we tried doesn't work, there's nothing else we can do for you.
And it's not. I mean, I think you've got to be honest. It's not like you lose weight and it's a fix-all for everything. I mean, you saw me last weekend when my back seized up.
Yeah.
And it does that. It doesn't fix everything, but it definitely helps.
Yeah.
It's common sense, really, isn't it? If you're walking around carrying 6 stone less weight than you were.
Yep.
that's less pressure.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because we play sometimes if I've got members coming into my workshops and they bring their babies in with them.
Right.
As long as they don't mind playing past the baby. Because when you go, right, how much does the baby weigh? And it's like, oh, this one's 16 pound. You go, right, who's lost 16 pound? And then hold the baby.
Yeah.
Because actually, when you pick something up that weighs, if you were to pick something up now that weighed 2 stone and just carry it around all day, you think, well, God, that's hard work.
Yeah.
Really hard work. But it's not about numbers, is it? It's about much more than numbers.
Well, it's a good thing to sort of like target your brain at, because if someone says to you, "Oh, that's 8 bags of sugar," or something, then you can picture what that is.
Yeah.
But if someone says to you, "Oh, well, that's we've obviously lost 2 stone in fat," and you don't know what that looks like. Unless you have one of these.
Get a load of lard.
Yes, unless you do that.
Yeah.
Which you made me feel sick now. So tell me then, how did you do it? I can't remember how you initially did it. Did you just stick to a plan? Is that?
Yeah, I followed the plan, and that's I remember when I very first thought about realised I wanted to lose weight. Actually, we did it. We were in London, and I nicked your mum's old programme material, but because Weight Watchers, as it was then, you get this connotation, don't you? I didn't want to go because it was going to be full of, as you said, it was going to be a bit naff and old middle-aged women. Yeah. Old middle-aged, that doesn't make sense, does it?
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like the idea of a plan where nothing was off limits, because I remember looking at Atkins and thinking, I like Atkins, I can have a load of butter on that one.
Yeah.
But I can't have any carbs. It's like, I want everything, because I don't like being told I can't have something.
No,
and
you're right.
It was only Weight Watchers that did it. So you've got your points allowance, you can have what you like, and just fit it in within your points, and you make compromises, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do you want more?
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think you make a very good point there, because I think a lot of people, they might not go on the basis of it's almost like people get teased for doing it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a jokey thing.
Yeah.
I actually heard somebody on the radio yesterday, and they said. And it didn't say, oh, you should have gone to Slimming World, or you should have tried the Atkins, or you should have tried that. The joke was, oh, you should have gone to Weight Watchers, right? It's the it's like when drama students, they go, oh, did you train at RAW? Because that's the only thing people know. And obviously Weight Watchers, the WW is that's the famous one, but it's the one that for some reason is the most sort of the one that people tease you about the most. So I can understand people holding back and not wanting to initially take that first step and just have a go, but
Well, you've got images of things like Little Britain, haven't you?
Yeah.
And all that, and it sticks in people's heads, and I think that image and that brand, and I think that's what's amazing about the rebranding that we've got, is it's really it's challenging that image that people have got of WW as a company.
Yeah.
When you look at the ambassadors that we've got, I mean, gosh, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And we'll talk about this a little bit later on as well, because it's just been announced that Robbie Williams is your new ambassador. I mean, that's phenomenal.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And above all, I think he'll do a lot for men anyway, to sort of go, actually, I don't actually feel that much of a prat doing it now, because you do feel like it's a predominantly female thing to do.
Yeah.
And I
think you've probably experienced this as well, is that even when men do it, it's almost like women seem to think that it's easier for a bloke somehow.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what that is, although because obviously, people don't know by now that you're my wife, so people think, oh, it's got to be easier for me because that you somehow fed me,
Yeah, but have I? Because to be honest, it's made it easier for me because you've done an awful lot of the cooking and you changed things. If I told you to mash up your potato with Swede and whatever, then you probably wouldn't have done it. But you did it. You worked it out for yourself. It's like taking the sugar out of your tea.
Yeah.
If I told you to do it, you wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Or it gets on your nerves when you're told to do something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But you make your own decisions.
Yeah. Although I did say to people, I was still married to you when I went up to 16 stone. So you
came with me then.
Yeah. No, but it's not like you've got to do it for yourself, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't not do it. If you can't suddenly go, oh, I'm married to a footballer, so I'm going to be fit. You have to go running yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more to Janet in a bit because we're going to hear, girls and boys, from the cast and the creatives coming up of this brand new production up at Theatre Clwyd. It's called Hansel and Gretel. It's a wee belter. And if you've got any questions for Janet, please get them in at the address Andy Snowden at Calon FM Stage and Screen. We're talking about keeping yourself fit over Crimbo, kids.
Hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
Well, welcome back, girls and boys, one and all. It's the Saturday before Christmas. Great feeling, isn't it? Great feeling. So there you go, that's the old Public Enemy bringing us into the second hour of the Stage and Screen show. Harder Than You Think, that's called, Harder Than You Think. And if you're sitting there thinking, I know that song, where's it from? Well, it's actually the theme tune to The Last Leg on Channel 4. There's a good programme. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, this is the Stage and Screen show, and here until 2:30 this afternoon, before we get full commentary of Wrexham against Aldershot Town. Aldershot now. The thing is about that match, Steve and Doug from the Kickstart show, Aldershot is Doug's team, and Steve loves the Wrexham, of course he does. So, how they didn't come to blows this morning is beyond me. Coming up in this second hour, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hear from quite an extraordinary actor. He's had an amazing amount of work, this guy. He played Barry in EastEnders and also as well played himself in Extras. Have anyone seen Ricky Gervais's Extras with Stephen Merchant? His name's Sean Williamson. He is coming up a little bit later on in the show. And but for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to say we are back with Jeanette Snowden, who is my not just good my good lady wife. She is a Weight Watchers what is it? A Weight Watchers coach?
Wellness coach.
It's not Weight Watchers now, is it?
Wellness coach.
Sorry. I'm going to get myself into awful trouble saying that. It
can be found at a WW studio near you.
Yes, yeah. I'll be there being shouted at. You can't miss me. Anyway, so we were talking earlier about all the things we're sort of allowed to eat over Christmas. But Susan Evans, she sent us a message saying, "What about the alcohol? Is alcohol? Is it fattening alcohol? It's a bit confusing."
It's by fattening, everything's got a calorie in it. Everything's got calories in it. So alcohol definitely has calories in it. So therefore, it has smart points.
Right.
In our world, so too much of anything.
So we've all heard of the beer belly.
Yeah.
You don't get a whiskey belly or a gin belly, do you?
Well, I suppose it depends how much of it you drink, really. I suppose with spirits, if you're free pouring them, that's different, isn't it? But if you're in a pub, you get a measure.
Yeah.
And smart point wise, they're lower.
Yeah.
To drink spirits than beer. Cider can be a bit of a killer. It's the sugar content in it.
Yeah, and these fruit ones.
Yeah.
You can almost taste the sugar in them. It's like it must have a bag of sugar in those things.
Yeah, and then there's Baileys, of course.
Yeah, well that's a pudding.
Well, it is, and at Christmas it replaces milk, doesn't it?
It does actually. Right, a lot of interest, as you might imagine, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't heard yet, but Mr. Robbie Williams, the Robbie Williams, has been named as the ambassador for www.
www.www.
There we are. I'm going to call it Weight Watchers, right? So everybody knows what I'm talking about. But we've had a message here from Rebecca Samuels, and she's quite interested. She says, why are why are they partnering with somebody like Robbie Williams? How has that come about?
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just the best news. Robbie's somebody, he's admitted that he struggles to find balance. He's slipped into some unhealthy habits over the last year. He's keen to develop simple daily habits that he knows are going to keep him healthy and happy.
Yeah.
So he wants to be the best version of himself for the sake of his 3 kids and his wife. So he was looking for healthy guidance and support. And of course, WW is an excellent way to bring healthy living habits into his day.
And is he going to actually do it? Is he?
Yeah.
Is that the plan for him to do the course?
It.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's
Right.
on freestyle. It's inspiring him to build those healthy habits. I know his coach, his
really?
wellness coach. I do.
Has he got like a private one, or is it? He's not going to go to the meeting, surely, to God.
I don't know. Can you imagine if he came into it's not a meeting, it's a workshop.
Beg your pardon.
Can you imagine he could come to Gresford, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Or Mould.
I think he should. I think he should do a tour of.
He should. Oh God, that'd get people through the door. That'd be absolutely amazing.
Oh God, if the car park's not bad enough.
Oh, it is. It's awful. People parking in there, getting the bus into town. It's a disgrace.
Oh, it is quite an amazing thing, though, isn't it? Because he's kind of quite famous for not for being who he is, but he's quite famous for sort of doing it all wrong. Really, he's been quite open about the fact that he was alcoholic. He took far too many drugs when he was younger. And he's also put on quite a lot of weight. So
and he's taken a battering for that, hasn't
you can imagine that it's sort of like raised a few eyebrows when you had somebody like him.
Yeah, but what is amazing is we know WW is here to make health and wellness accessible to absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
And our new campaign brings to life the human truth that everybody has got a reason to get healthy, and so does Robbie. And we think that people are going to find his reason and his journey really inspiring.
Yeah. Having said that, it'd be no good getting somebody like, let's say for argument's sake, on the same sort of par, to have Gary Barlow.
Yeah.
Who's squeaky clean image. He's a good look. He looks like he's fit already.
Yeah.
So to have him, there's almost like nowhere for him to go. Someone like
journey,
Rob,
isn't it? He's got it. Yeah, and it makes it real. I mean, we're all about inspiring healthy habits for real people, for real life, meeting people where they're at, opening up the doors of wellness to absolutely everyone. And I think Robbie absolutely nails that. He encompasses everything that we're about.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think it is quite important as well for the blokes.
Yes,
speaking
very much so.
Speaking for the blokes, from the blokes, because it does seem like a very sort of female orientated kind of affair, doesn't it?
It does, but you know what? It's interesting. I was just thinking about this. When we got as WW employees, we got our friends and family codes, and so you got your year's membership.
Yeah.
So I got three family codes, 3 friends codes. They've all gone to men.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
All of them.
And are they all stuck with it? Do you know?
Well, you've done all right, haven't you?
Listen, I'm not making no bones about the fact that I've done the Weight Watchers. It's something. I'll be honest with you as well. Not only have I found it very doable, because everybody seems to say to me before I did it, they went, "Oh, well, it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of this, that, and the other, and if you fall off the wagon, it's hard to get back on and all." And it was all very negative. And all I found was, if you just do it and not worry about it,
do
you know
what
it is. I mean, I don't want to use the word easy, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
I think it's the approach that you take. And I think this is why I've maintained my weight with this, following this programme, is it's not all or nothing. We've all got, a lot of us have got this habit of, you accidentally eat an entire giant bar of Galaxy, and so you think, oh well, I might as well have 12 more.
Yes.
It's like okay, you drop your phone, crack the screen, so you wouldn't just jump and stamp on it, would you? But we do it with our eating habits, and I think what has really changed, certainly with me, and so therefore within our house, is that you can go something that might have been a little bit off plan, as in it wasn't in your plan to do it, but it doesn't throw the rest of the week.
Yeah.
It doesn't throw the next meal. Every choice is an individual choice, and you just live.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's not a diet. It's a healthy way. It's changing habits.
Yeah.
For life.
I like that. I like that. It is, and the habit thing, the habit forming thing, is the main one for me because it's just the way that I kind of, I've always seemed to run my life that way, where it needs to be kind of organised. I only feel happy and contented if I know what I'm doing. I hate surprises. Do you know what I mean? I would hate it for somebody to go, "Oh, we're going to the airport." Oh, no, I'm not telling you where we're going. I'd be, you know, I mean, it might be a nice thing to do on paper, but I'd be on edge. Do you know what I mean?
Kids, if you're listening,
that holiday to Vegas.
That holiday.
Oh, brilliant. Well, they're talking to Janet Snowden. Many of you will know her because she... wait, I mean, I know you've got your meetings in Gresford now.
Workshops.
But your workshops, yeah. So where else are you?
I'm in Mould.
Right, so okay. And you used to have one in Wrexham, but you don't do that one.
I don't do that, but there's loads of workshops in Wrexham and around the area. Yeah, they're all over.
Right.
All over the place.
Okay, so obviously many of you will know Jeanette. She's going to be with us all afternoon until 2:30, ladies and gentlemen. And coming up, right, after this one from... they used to be the Beautiful South, these guys. But Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott, they went their own way, as we all know. And the rest of the Beautiful South, they stuck together. And they call themselves the South. They were in Wrexham, actually, a few months ago. Let me know if you went to see them. They put a Christmas song out. It's called Christmas Tills Are Ringing. It's a corker. There you go. After this, we're going to hear from EastEnders actor, Mr. Sean Williamson. Get her.
What do you think about Brexit? So does that mean we won't have any trees?
So just to reiterate then, Sean Williamson is playing Hook in Peter Pan at the Sheffield Lyceum until the 6th of January. Box office number 0114 249 6000. Go ahead, get to that.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
How about that then? How about that? That is actually live from last night, actually. A concert up at the All Saints Church in Gresford. And the three soloists there, who were singing together at that point, of course, Harry Graham, Emma Lloyd-Jones and Samuel Snowden, all training at the minute at the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester. And they were accompanied by John Hoskin. And we went to see it last night, didn't we? It was cracking.
Oh, it was amazing. I cried. Twice.
It was a bit of a tear-jerky type of gig, and it was wonderful, and raised a hell of a lot of money for.
I'm so proud.
Who was it for? I can't remember. Nightingale House. It was, yeah. It was. Yes, they did brilliantly, and the whole thing was recorded by Zia Thompson from Gresford, and she's actually working on it at this present time. So if you'd like a copy of that, just get in contact with me on my Facebook page there, Andy Snowden at Calon FM, Stage and Screen.
And again, that's going to charity as well,
That's going into charity as well, and there's a sort of suggested price of £5, but and that's well worth it. I mean, that's probably the best £5 you're going to ever spend this year. But you know, one of them things, give what you can, and you'll have a lovely CD there for maybe you can get it for Christmas. We can, I'd be able to get it to you for Christmas if you live in the Wrexham area. So there you go. That was last night live, and as I say, it was accompanied by John Hoskin, and we went for a quick drink, as you do, in the Griffin there in Gresford after the concert, and we were talking about putting that song on today's show, and he said, "Oh, can you do me a favour? I put a new album out with Olivia Hunt, who is a soprano." So I said, "Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, of course." The album's called Music to Hear, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. I had listened to it this morning, and here we go. I'll play it for you. You tell me what you think, right? Here we are. Here's John Hoskin and Olivia. What did I say? Beg your pardon? Pardon? Hunt. It was. Beg your pardon. Sorry, Olivia. Yeah, here we go then. Where do I press play? Is it there?
The ring is on my hand, and the wreath is on my brow. Satin and jewels grand are all at my command.
Brace yourself! It's Andy Snowden, stage and screen! Stage and screen!
Go ahead, make my day.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Here's Johnny.
Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest. You never know what you're gonna get.
Tell me about it, Steph.
I see dead people.
105 FM. Stage and screen.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me four calling birds, birds and turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Isn't that belting? They're called Reliant K. 12 Days of Christmas, of course. We all knew that, didn't we?
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
So, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third and final hour of Andy Snowden with music from stage and screen and anything you might have seen on your television box. And we just got 25 minutes to go now, ladies and gentlemen, until I am out of here. And Janet and I are going to hit the shops, man.
I'm scared. I've seen Twitter.
Don't look. Just go. Just go and just take your time. I think that's the tip.
Don't get angry. Don't get mad.
I never get mad and angry. What are you on about?
Well, though, if you see people shopping at Christmas, there tends to be a lot of aggression, I see.
It does, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
It's not like you can't get it. You just have to be prepared to wait.
Yeah, I think people get stressed, don't they? And then the more people that are around, the more stressed they get. And I think the thing I always make, well, it doesn't make me laugh really because it's not funny, but it's like Disney. When you see parents just yelling at their kids, they do it at Disney and then they do it at Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you take a child shopping to a supermarket today?
I really don't know. But that's what we're going to do. And we're going to risk it.
Children with us.
Risk it for a biscuit. Yeah,
I know. Biscuit.
I mean, our kids are all grown up. We could actually make them go now, can't we?
We could make them go. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know.
Kids?
Idiots! Anyway, coming up at 3 p.m, ladies and gentlemen, we have full commentary of the pre-Christmas match between Wrexham FC and Aldershot Town. That's taking place this afternoon at the EBB Stadium. I don't know what that stands for. Can anyone let me know? EBB Stadium. It's Aldershot Town's home ground. And Mark Griffiths is standing by to give us full commentary, as is his wont. And he does it brilliantly every single week. And so if you've got anything you would like to ask Janet in this last half hour about Weight Watchers, or,
you can call it Weight Watchers. Okay. It's fine.
Calling it Weight Watchers. I've got to call it Weight Watchers. If I said WW, people will know what I'm talking about. Exactly. Anyway, just to if anyone has missed the just joined us and they're tuning in for the football, I joined Weight Watchers in September of this year, and I've managed to shift 2 stone. 2 stoners, Andy, and I was so chuffed with myself that I invited my life coach.
A life coach now.
A life coach and life partner. She's my wife. To join us today on the show, and a lot of people have got in contact with us, and they're actually talking about that sort of that wellness part of it. It's not just like being fit, is it? It's like a brain, like a well brain. If that's what it is.
It's about mindset. We've always had, well, not always, but certainly over the recent years, it's been a holistic program. It's been 3 pillars of the program, which is eating food that you love, so food with freedom, mindset, healthy mindset, and activity. So we've had that. I suppose we're just promoting it more, and it's more specific. So we're opening the doors to people who want to join, not necessarily for weight loss.
Yeah.
That they want to learn to eat healthily, they want to improve their mindset, they want to become more active. Because I suppose it's common sense, really. The 3 things work together. The amount of times that you hear people in workshops saying, "Oh, it's easy when your head's in the right place. I just need to get my head in it now."
Yeah.
But it's not something you can just decide to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. The funny thing is, though, I've sort of noticed, and I don't know. I mean, obviously you will have heard it many times. Because you've now started asking the members, are they still called members?
They are still called members. It's quite funny. A kitchen is still a kitchen as well. It was one of my helpers the other day.
Good. So if you ask one of your members if they've had a good week, their first port of call will actually be to say yes, because I've lost weight. So
Actually, do you know what? It's interesting because we obviously still weigh members if they want to. It's an option. You don't have to get weighed if you don't want to. There's a wellness check-in is what we call it.
Yeah.
But it's made me realise that what we do, and I don't know if it's a British thing or if it's just a human thing, we're very good at going to a negative.
Yeah.
So if you say, as we've historically said, "Ooh, how's your week been?" the person will tend to focus on what's gone wrong. and which is really interesting. So we're just changing the questions.
So what do you mean gone wrong in their life or gone wrong
both? They'll focus on any bad decisions that they feel they've made. We automatically go to a negative and what we could have, the things that went wrong, rather than focusing on what went well.
Right.
So we're just changing the questions around a little bit. So instead of saying something like, "Oh, how's your week been?"
Yeah.
It's asking. It's to reflect on something positive. It's like, what's good in your world at the moment? What's gone well? What's gone well for you this week? And actually just reframing things to come up with a positive, because it changes your attitude to what comes next. If you're feeling good, because I'm learning so much about my members, is that you can say, "Oh, what's made you smile this week? What's gone well for you this week? What's made you happy?" And they become a grandparent, and you're just like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
You learn things about people, but it puts them in a really positive frame of mind. And therefore, because you'll know this, won't you? From was it last week when you had a weight gain, and you weren't very happy? Not that you were bothered.
No, I was more confused than anything. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can. I mean, and anybody that's ever done the Weight Watchers or anything like it, and you work really hard at it. You stick to the diet and you walk the dog for. Well, according to my app, which we'll talk about the app in a minute. Don't let me forget. If you can do everything really well. I walked almost 40 miles in the week and put a pound or half a pound on, and you think. But the thing of it is, you get the impression that you can't complain about that. You can't go, "Oh, that was a bit of a," It's like you're upset. I wasn't upset. I was more confused.
That's the thing, is that you can pretty much guarantee every single member sitting there has had that happen to them at some point. The scales don't always reflect what you've actually done. They do in the end. They just might not do it on that day. You could have got on the scales the next day, and it would have said something different. They're a single measure, but they're not the be all and end all of everything. And I think, to me, that's really what the wellness check-ins are about. Is it's putting the scales almost in their place.
Right.
Because if you've had a great week and you've walked 40 miles, that's an amazing achievement that you should be proud of and you should be celebrating and feel happy about. And the number shouldn't change how you feel about what you've actually achieved.
Yeah. And I think as well, because the very good point about this is, if you say to somebody, "Have you had a good week?" and they say yes, and they might think it's great because they've lost, let's say they've lost £2 in a week, right? Which is an amazing thing to do, right? That moment of feeling happy about that lasts about 10 minutes. After that, you're just back to your normal day. If you've been given the opportunity to tune into something else that's been good about your life, because I would have thought that these days with mental health, illness, it's high on everybody's agenda, and it seems like the people who haven't got mental health issues are in the minority. That's how it seems anyway. That's all you do. You wake up in the morning and you go, right, what have I got to do? And it's always thinking of the worst thing that's going to happen to you. Or you always concentrate on the bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you could win the lottery and, you could stub your toe and you'd be talking about your bad toe all week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's that mentality.
And it's a real shift. I mean, I've done a bit of research into it myself for other parts of my job as well, and looking into well-being. And actually, right up there is mindfulness, gratitude.
Yep.
It feels a little like sometimes that it can sound a little bit American, but it isn't. It's being grateful for what you have got, showing gratitude. Also, what was the other thing I was thinking of then? Doing good for things. Do you remember that episode of Friends where Phoebe tries to do a selfless good deed?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really funny because you can't.
No.
And it's up there. It's in the top 5 things of to make yourself feel good is actually doing good for something. It's doing good for other people.
Yeah.
So it's finding ways. We know happier people make healthier choices.
Yeah.
And so when you're focused on the positive, you will make better food choices. You'll have a better mindset. You're more likely to be more active.
Right.
And the whole thing just comes together as one.
Yep. One thing helps another.
Yeah.
That's. I think that's the. Yeah.
I didn't know. I was wondering actually. It's been quite interesting for me watching a new member, as you have been, make choices. I don't know if you realised how your energy levels went up.
No.
Because you started doing stuff. I'd come home and you'd have painted the shed.
Yeah.
Then you've painted the fence, and then you've washed this and that. You just start, and I'm watching you sitting here now. You move all the time. You jiggle quite a lot.
Yeah, I need a wee.
Oh.
I don't need a wee. I just can't help dancing. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I hadn't noticed that. But now you've said it, it's it kind of stands to reason, I suppose, doesn't it? Really. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. All very interesting. We'll come back to Janet in a minute because I've just noticed. Do you want to know what the Christmas number one is?
Yeah.
It's just going to completely blow your brain. I don't know if everybody's heard that the Christmas number one it's this thing.
We built this city.
It's a spoof, and it's called "We Built This City" on sausage rolls. Now here we are. I'm going to play it for you. Here it is, and I'll tell you more about it in a minute. God, what's going on? 2018, get a grip.
It's alright, yeah. The lyrics are epic, aren't they?
Stay in tune.
If you've never had one and don't recognise the taste. Security, can we stop this, please?
Sausage
Right,
sausage
no,
roll
sorry,
city.
right, headphones off. No, sorry, right, let's leave it there, please. Headphones off. Come on, you've done here. Right, end it there. Song's over. Thank you. Thanks, let's go.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The race for the 2018, what is it? The Christmas number one. That's been won by Lad Baby. It's a Lad Baby. That's what he goes by the name of, and it's called "We Built This City" on sausage rolls. Now, this lad, he's a singer and a YouTube sensation. Everyone's a YouTube sensation these days. I don't know what's going on. He goes by the proper name of Mark Hoyle, and he said he's honestly speechless and lost for words. You're not the only one, Mark. He says thank you to everybody in the UK who has got Sausage Roll to the top of the charts. And this song, "We Built This City," is a cover of the Starship track. We Built This City on rock and roll, of course, which was a 1980s glam rock track. And all proceeds, ladies and gentlemen, before you all start saying horrible things about it, he's donated all the money, all the proceeds of this sale of this track to the Trussell Trust, which is the food bank charity. Did you know it was the food bank charity?
I'd heard of it, yes.
Yes. Well, I've learnt something there. So thanks to Mark, thanks to Lad Baby, and that track. I don't know how much money he's going to have made for the Trussell Trust, but whatever it is, it's awesome. Now then, Janet, tell me, do you remember in Big Brother a few years ago, there was a lad called Simon Gross? Do you remember him?
I'm rubbish for names.
Well, you might remember him after I play this.
Okay.
Christmas Eve at a showbiz party, and everyone looks showbiz is the business this Christmas.
How about that? He's called Simon Gross, that's Mr. Showbiz, and he was the guy off Big Brother going, "Showbiz!" all the time. God, that was horrible. Oh, my ears, my poor ears.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Is hoping all your dreams come true in everything you do. So have a Merry Christmas.
There's magic in the air this evening, magic in the air. Or sleep till Christmas. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas Day.
Fantastic. There it is, old Kermit the Frog there. One More Sleep Till Christmas, taken from the Muppets Christmas Carol. And if you're really excited for the Muppets Christmas Carol, I got to tell you, it is on Christmas Day, 4 p.m. on Channel 4 on Christmas Day this year. Weirdly, it should be on Christmas Eve. No, I can't have that. That's wrong.
Calon FM on 105 FM, uniting our community. Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you ever so much, everybody, for your company this afternoon. I'm out of here now, and I'm out of here until, the beginning of 2019. But thank you ever so much for your company over the last year. It's been really, really great this year. I've had a really good time here on Calon FM, and hopefully, God willing and all that, I'll be back next year. But thanks for coming in, Jan. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've had a lovely time.
Because last year we were saying you came in after Christmas.
I did. I remember I had a really bad hangover.
Yes, you did,
Yeah.
and which was not like you at all.
No, I know.
No, you don't usually get bad hangovers. You don't usually get. Well, yeah, exactly. But anyway, I would say have a lovely Christmas. But I think it's going to be down to me whether you have a good Christmas or not. And we're going to have a good Christmas this year. I can feel it in my water. Anyway, until next time, girls and boys, you take care of yourselves. Hulvauer, au revoir, toodle pip, na dole clowin. Have a great Christmas. Take care. Ta-da.